Hello, this is Nikki, and today I am doing a flip through and a review of Worlds Within Worlds by Kerby Rosanes. This is more of a review as we do a flip through. So first of all, this book has a very, well, its texture, just listen. So when you first feel it, it feels strange. Same with the back. I would say that people who have problems with touching velvet and stuff like that will probably not like the feel of this. Now, here on the back, we have one of the pictures that are inside that has had some illustration done to it that can give you some ideas. And just looking to see if it tells us how many. No, it just says a batch. Okay, so we don't know how many pictures to color there are in here. That is easy enough to find out though, because at the very back of the book we have the answers. This tells you where the hidden key is in each picture, so we could quickly go through and count these, because double spreads are shown as double spreads and single ones are shown as singles, so that is not a problem. This is the US edition that I am looking at. So now this is the major thing that bothers me about this book, is this title page has a smaller version of this picture. Well, I guess it's the same size as that picture. It's the same. It's the same print. This and this. This has had these added to it, and this has had that added to it. Otherwise, they're exactly the same page. This picture is inside the book, and when colorists complete a book, and I know there are many out there who have completed Kerby's books, so it is a thing out there, is to complete a book you color everything. In the Kerby books, the answers don't count, but otherwise everything else is colored. This is a problem because we color the picture inside the book, and it is going to be annoying to have to come along and color it again in miniature. So yeah, they should have put an original picture there, or they could have somehow made that page like these ones. And these ones are all different and are going to be a lot of fun to color. I think maybe I need to open up the browser, zoom out a little bit there so you have all the edges of the books. Now, these are really good and really fun to color, and they're all different. So we've got the illustrated by page, this book belongs to page, the copyright info page, just a introduction to the book page, and yes, so that's good. Then we come to the Stegosaurus picture, which is one that I have been eyeing. I haven't colored anything in here yet. I am just studying the book. There's the forest picture, which we had on the back. And now that I see it, I see much more possibilities than the one in the back. The more I look through this book, the more I start studying a different picture and seeing all that there is to see. So here is a turtle creature with a haunted house on its back. This book is glued, and that's another thing that bothers me about this, because with a book that has so many pages in it, it really should have been sewn. and then glued if they wanted to. But yeah, the problem with it only being glued, and it has nice paper, that is paper you can throw really any kind of medium at. You just have to be careful and not put too much water if you're using a water medium. But with paper like this, to just glue it, it's probably eventually going to start falling apart, which is a problem with some of Kerby's earlier books, which did the same thing. Take the extra time, publishers, and so bind a book like this that's worth it. So just keep flipping through the pages. All of the pages in this book do not have frames. They all go right off of the page. And in this case, I think that's an appropriate way to go about it, because there's so little room for a background in these pictures that it's okay to be coloring off the page. Very interesting one here, where at the top we have sea life, and underneath there are ruins, but there doesn't seem to be any sea down there. But interesting. See, here we color off the page, and it's most appropriate that way than it would have been to put a frame around it. And there are a wide variety of difficulties in this book. We'll come across ones like this, which are more simpler and a good starting point for beginners who've never done Kerby's work. There are a few others like that, and I will point them out. So you can go from simple to very intricate. This one could be done simply. Or you could go in there and do every single little scale, I guess we would call it. Then we get some very intricate ones like this. I love books and I love this picture, but oh, just imagine coloring every single one of those books. What does it say on the boat? No, I can't read it. Reminds me of the Maid of the... Oh, it's not called the Maid of the Mist. Can't remember what they call it now. There's actually quite a few underwater world pictures in here. These are quite detailed. This most certainly is. See, now we're starting to get to a problem where we're going to have to push to get the page to lay flat, and you'll do that every so often as you go through the book. Just be careful that you don't do it too hard. The binding should be able to handle that. And now here is the monkey picture, and it is a little larger than it is in the previous example of this, and it has a twin picture. Looks like these are kind of like Mayan or Incan ruins, while these are more Egyptian or Assyrian, something like that. Let's say New World and Old World. And here's a simple one for a beginner to do. It's all foliage. Except for there's a little girl standing there, and she is picking the flowers. It makes one wonder where she's going to go when she's picking the flowers. Picking the apples, and it makes one wonder where she's going to go. I tell you, I get that kind of a questioning when I look at a lot of the pictures in here. It's like, okay, so now where do they go? Or are they just stuck there? See, here we have some, in both of these we have some boats in crowns. This is probably be a medium one. Just because of the amount in this one. We'll call it a, let's see, an intricate one. I'm not ready to tackle one like that though. These are interesting. I haven't seen anybody color these to this point. I like the mushroom one here. I'm particular to mushrooms. This one would look nice with a lot of gold in there. I have a spot on my page already. I can't keep anything clean. This is quite interesting. I love this one. See, this is where we come into the problem with the double page spreads. When the book isn't sewn together, we cannot get this to open completely flat. And there is something in there. Well, I imagine it's one of these. Yeah, it looks like it is. Is it fancy? Yeah, it's different. It's one of these, but it's different because it's up higher. It would be the, you know, the top one, and there is something in the middle of this as well. And there's no way you are going to get in there with this type of a binding. And that's a problem with the double page spreads in this book. The ones at the very front and the very back are doable. But once you get inside the book, you're going to have to just do your best to get in there. So yeah, sewn binding would have corrected that problem. These could be done for the beginner who's used to using watercolors, because you could easily put down a watercolor base on these and then go from there. I love the bunnies. These are cute. And of course the sloth. Yeah, see, it's getting a little bit hard to do the pages now. At this point it would be a good idea to go to the back and start flipping forward. You'd be able to roll the pages, flatten the pages down a bit better than I am. Just want you to be able to see. Very, very intricate here. I am by no means an expert on Kerby Rosanes pictures, and that is not for me. Though it really, in the background, it really is just Zen-doodled mandala-like patterns. Got out your gel pens. That could make it quite simple. Then you would just have these left to color. So yeah, you just have to look at the picture, and different types of medium can either increase or decrease the difficulty. I like this one. This one is a contender for my first page. I didn't mention that with any of the other ones. That's not the first one. Also like this one. And whoa, this one is, I'm not wearing my glasses, and all this metal gears and things in there is making my eyes go a little wobbly. All sorts of things up there, a lot of ancient civilization stuff, but then there's also other things that are not related. This is also a contender for my first one. I'm not sure if I like that. Perhaps if that was done the proper colors, like this was done, you know, the golden fur color that you're going to do the face. But I don't know what that's going to... I need to see somebody do that and do the trees in green, because I don't see that one. Not into this one. Love this picture because I am particularly fond of these nesting dolls, and I don't own any, but every time I see one or see the pictures of them, I just absolutely adore them. So while this isn't a contender for my first one, it is definitely going to get done sooner rather than later by me. There's another water one underneath. And if you can see, they're not just standing in the water. Their leg, this one, only one of its legs turns into one of these buildings. This one has both anchored in there. Nice space picture on those wings there for people who like doing galaxies. But everybody has seen this picture, even if you've never even watched a flip through of this book before. This has been the most popular first picture that people have been coloring. I've seen this done so many times, and I absolutely love it, but I'm not going to do it until I get the visions of the other pictures out of my mind. Now this one is just absolutely very, very detailed. It's got all the gears and in here, got all tree roots in there, and all this hieroglyphics. I think it's going to take using some watercolor washes to simplify that for myself. I really like to see if anybody tries to tackle that with just pencil. And then there's all the answers page, and again we have another one of these, which is, I believe, completely different from the ones at the front. I'm going to check and make sure. Oh, no, it's not. It's the same as this one. Exactly the same. So now there's another problem for the completists, is that we're going to have to color this page twice. It would have been nice if we could have had a different picture there. And then we come to the answer pages, and these simply circle where the where the key and the hidden item is in each picture, which most people don't pay any attention to. Or you could color it like gold or some other color that makes it stand out and color it same color all the way through. So these pages aren't colored by the completist. And there we have our book. You can tell that I've already been, that I've already been through this book a lot, and that I've done a lot of folding and breaking in of the spine. I've already got a crease in there from doing that. One of the things now, I don't know if this would be good to show you, because I've already done it. Oh no, I haven't done it to the back. Okay, so when you get your books, both to the front and to the back, what you want to do is, you see how there's this line here? Well, what we want to do is open up the book so that the pages aren't going to stop at that line, but are going to go all the way to the edge. So this page is always glued to the card cover. So we skip it, and then we push down on this one. Now you can, there's the line that we saw on the back cover, and we're going to open that up. Push, see, it took a little bit of a push from me, and now I'm going to go right up, I'm going to go right down, and now my pages will open up all the way. So when I turn this page, I just pull it this way a little bit, and I can give it a little fold so it opens all the way. Now that will work till a certain point, and at some point you're going to have to crack your book open a bit by taking it and folding it upon itself till it makes a crease, and then put it back in. And that's why having a sewn binding is much better for a coloring book of this magnitude and complexity, and one that's going to get all sorts of water in it and all that sort of thing. So other than that, a couple other things that I mentioned. The book is wonderful. The illustrations are fantastic. It's what everybody loves by Kerby. There was some controversy over his Phantomorphia and Geomorphia, and people got a little bit upset with those books. Then Kerby came out with a collection of his best pictures. I don't know whether he picked his favorites or the fan favorites, but that's a book that, you know, you can make your decision on whether you're going to buy it or not. It's great for a beginner, but otherwise you'll have all the pictures that are in the book, except for one. One of the pictures, and I believe it's Phantomorphia, is only half of a full animal, and in the I can't remember what it's called, Colormorphia, there we are. In Colormorphia, he includes the back end of the fox so that it's a true double page spread. So this begins a new series. It's not a Morphia book. It is Worlds Within Worlds, and he has signed a deal to do a second book. So we know that will be coming, and it will be interesting to see how he continues on with the theme. So good book. I advise that you get it. If this is your thing, you will not be disappointed. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.